Hey everybody, this is Janan from Black Metal Artist. I'm here today with Jim from HKSPK. Hello Kitty, Scum Porn Killer. Thanks to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, on this wonderful Saturday, I would love to ask you some questions and get to know more about the band. Can you tell us how HKSPK originally formed and what was like the original idea behind it?
Yeah, sure. The history of the band goes actually far more behind the start of the band. Arne and I, our drummer, we knew each other long before the band even existed because our fathers are really close friends.
Oh,
And I knew that he had some sort of music project. He always told me, "Yeah, I have a black metal band," and I always thought, "Wow, how progressive he is! He's doing black metal." And 2 years ago, I met him at a local metal show called Peppery Stage, and I asked him again, "How does your music project go? How's your project going?" And he basically said, not that great. We don't find the right singer for our genre or for what we want to do." And it was actually the first time I also met our guitarist Leon. He brought him with him. He had this project with him.
okay.
And um, I just basically said, um, "Do you want me to be the singer?" And at this time, I was experimenting with black and death metal vocals. I wasn't that great at that time. I still wouldn't consider myself a great death black metal singer. Um, so they were actually happy that someone in this area. It's not that common in our area that someone is practicing this kind of music. So they basically invited me for a little jam session. And as far as I can remember, it was really fun. We just did some Nagarot and Mayhem covers. And I have to admit, after that, I thought, oh, so that is the black metal project Arne was talking about. So,
Probably came off a lot more fun.
yes, it was fun, but I have to admit, I expected something more professional. So, when I first heard he had a black metal project, I thought, wow, he's so progressed. He can play this blast beat stuff and all this fast stuff. Um, and at when we met up for the second rehearsal, we immediately um, we musically connected and we started to write our first song, which became Holy Scum. So
That's amazing.
it started very fast, and from then we released a full-length album called Holy Scum. Big surprise, creative name. And
I was
this
gonna
year,
ask you about that too.
yeah. So it's been very fun since then. And I'm very happy to have met those guys because it's really hard to find musicians like them in this local area. And metal, and especially black and death metal, is not a very famous genre, I would say, especially
Yeah.
in the East German area. So I'm very fortunate to have met those guys.
There's so many questions I have within all of that. And but one, I want to start by saying that I've listened to your music and I think your vocals are great. I think you have
Yeah, thank you.
amazing vocals. I definitely enjoyed what I was listening to. And I also hope everyone checks it out. Because honestly, I did really enjoy it. It was great. And then I was gonna also ask about your Holy Scum album and like what went behind that album. Like what was the goal or emotional intention?
Um, that's actually a really good question because I never actually, or better said, we never actually had a real emotional background in that album. Basically, the whole meaning in creating those songs and especially that album was just to put out songs and have a great time by recording and arranging those songs. So it's just a fun project, as I could say. So all of us, we never had any experience in recording an album. We did everything by ourselves. So recording, producing, and mastering, and promoting it. So we did everything from scratch, all by ourselves, which was fun.
Yeah.
We didn't,
I
as I said, we didn't have any experience in doing anything from that. Well, I had some experience recording my own music and producing it, but not with a real bands that we will meet up and record guitars and vocals and drums and everything. So it was a great first experience for a real album.
Yeah, I that as well. How did you feel that like whole experience was to get that out independently and do all that independently?
In that moment, it actually felt like Christmas when we first opened Spotify and we saw the album cover and our band name on Spotify. We thought, wow, we've progressed so much. We got this far in. It was not even a year when we released the album, so we weren't even existing for a year when it came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we did it very fast. I have to admit myself, I'm not a really patient person. So basically, when some mistake happened in the recording, for example, Arne didn't got that note right on the spot, I just thought, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And after that, I just corrected it because I wanted to be done very, very fast, which
There's the way.
many producers would say that I'm very unprofessional and kind of sloppy in the recording process, but it worked for us, it worked for me, and we were especially surprised how well received it was, not just in our friend circle, but over the whole country. It actually,
Yeah,
for us,
how was it received over there? How was the reception? Did people like, yeah, tell me about that.
In contrast to our new EP, it was like much smaller, but even the first 100 views on our singles were a very nice surprise for us because,
Oh
as
yeah.
I said, we didn't have any experience in releasing and recording music, so it was a very nice surprise. We got not much, but some comments on our YouTube channel, like, "Wow, guys, great music, keep going," and that felt great. It wasn't that big of a deal for the whole metal underground scene, but for us it was a really big surprise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure, yeah, it felt really rewarding. I can absolutely imagine that. So
Oh
like
yes.
off your EP, the Human Butcher, which songs would you say are your favorite or like stick out the most to you?
In my opinion, every song is great, but if I should say, um, if I should say one song, it would definitely be Zur letzten Rauhnacht, because it is our most progressive song, I would say. It has a very, um, how should I say it? Very unusual arrangement for us because it was the first time we took a more complex approach in writing music and arranging everything. And to this day, it's one of not just one of my, but one of our favorite songs we've ever written and released.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope everyone checks it out. I know I'm going to continue listening myself. So who would you say are some of your biggest musical influences in metal and even outside of metal that have influenced you?
No, I would definitely say that most of our influences are metal and specifically black and death metal. Um, I mentioned that we knew long before because of our fathers, and our musical influence also came from our fathers. For example, my father still is a big Motorhead fan, and so am I. So I got introduced to the classics in the metal scene, I would say. like Metallica, Slayer, Motorhead, and later on Typo Negative. And our guitarist Leon was not that much in the metal scene, but more in the hard rock scene. For example, Kiss. And he later
Gotcha.
progressed to some more extreme bands like Slipknot and Amon Amarth. And the only one in our band who had, from a young age, a big influence in the black and death metal scene was Arne. His father knows many people in the metal scene, for example, Skiel from Disaster KfW, which is a very famous band in Germany. And so Arne started listening to very extreme German black metal bands like Eisregen and Disaster KfW at a very young age. And he kind of skipped all the classics to this day. When I ask him, name me 3 Judas Priest songs, I think the only thing that he could name is Breaking the Law, and that's it. So he basically just skipped all the most famous ones and got straight into the extreme ones. And
That happens.
yeah, when I met him, he kind of introduced me to this black metal universe. At this time, I knew some black metal bands, but I wasn't that much into it. But yeah, he was the one introducing not just me, but also Leon to this extreme and diverse spectrum of black metal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was badass. But
Yeah, thank
okay.
you, Arne.
So do you guys, okay, I want to go back really quickly to one question. I want to know what inspired the name for the band.
The backstory is actually quite funny. In 2023, when we just met, we wanted to buy ourselves a new PA and a new PA system for our rehearsal room. So we drove to Berlin and we walked through the city to the music store. And on the way, we walked by an obscure shop for adult toys. I think you know what I mean. And
Absolutely.
and and the window of the shop was just covered in stickers, like a lot of stickers. And one of those was, if I remember correctly, it was a round sticker with Hello Kitty in a leather outfit and a rib and the words, "I know your fetish, you sick bastard." And at this moment, we thought, yes, that's it. We will base our band name on this concept. And the main concept of the name was Hello Kitty. And everything else that came after that was just experimenting. And after a while, we settled on Hello Kitty Scum Porn Killer, which wasn't just funny for us, because at our first shows, all the other bands had to introduce us or thank us, and they had trouble pronouncing the name. So we always sat backstage and went, he said it wrong. It was, and after a while, we realized, oh, maybe the name is too long, too obscure, and too explicit for social media. So we just shortened it up in HKSPK, which also sounds great, and it
Yeah.
creates some kind of mystery. What does it mean? What?
It does. It does.
And when people always ask us, what does HKSPK mean? We always sit there like kind of embarrassed and go, hello, kids, gunpowder. What?
Because
What kind of stupid name? Yeah,
you guys got used to the shortened version then. That's so funny.
yes. And it's easier to pronounce, not just for us, but for the promoters and for the magazines and for the like other bands. Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, but I'm sure it was also very entertaining to hear them say it.
Um,
What?
it still is actually, but we don't want to make that much like we don't want to push it forward that much. We want to keep it more like secretly, like we just HKSPK. We just settled on HKSPK. It's easier to pronounce. It's easier to write,
Yeah,
and
valid.
it's still catchy. And
Very.
yeah.
Okay. So, what are some other cool stories that you have from some shows that you got to play over there and like the way the crowd, like the reception?
Um, oh, there are a lot of stories. For example, the first show we ever played, it was also in 2023 when we were just existing for 3 or 4 months, I guess, and we just had a set of 4 songs and 1 cover.
Okay.
And um, I was in school, and my father just drove by and asked me if I. It was the Peppery stage. It was the winter Peppery stage in our home city, and he asked, "Do you want to go to the Peppery stage for free?" And I was like, "Yes, why not? What's the catch? You have to play there." And I immediately contacted the boys. Guys, we have a first gig, and we were very
Oh.
excited. And when we got there, and we introduced us with our band name, I guess you can guess what the reaction was. It was like, we, all right, some stupid children, some school band who covers Nirvana or some shit. And and then when we started to play our set, you could see like a moaning going through the crowd. What? This is the band called Hello Kitty Scum Killer? That's actually kind of neat. And it's a funny thing. Everyone thought we were some kind of teenage school band who covers Teenage Dirtbag and Smells Like Teen Spirit and call it a gig. But they were surprised, and we were very happy with our first gig. So that's actually one of the funniest stories.
I love that. I love that. So, what do you have next coming up for the band?
Like shows, or
Shows, albums. What's the next move?
when I talk about musical material, I can't say that much. All I can say is we are working on new songs and new song material, which we may release in the next year. So
Sick, sick.
it's getting interesting. We are still in the writing process of new songs, and yeah, maybe there's some new stuff coming in the next year. Um,
That's exciting.
yeah, we still have some shows for this year. The next show is so all the shows are in Germany, some in the local area, some more far away. The next
Okay.
show is with a thrash metal band from Berlin called Kampa,
Nice.
and yeah, it's a small club show in a city called Schwedt. And yeah, we have some more small like events coming up. The next big show, or yes, the next big show is settled in Nuremberg, which is far in the south of Germany. So with a car, it's like 6 or 7 hours away.
Oh,
So
wow. That's a journey.
for yes, it's so we are very excited for this HKSPK journey, and it's I guess it's the first time we ever have to drive this far for a gig. Even though it's not a foreign country, it's still Germany, but it's very far away, and we are very excited about that.
That is definitely exciting. I'm looking forward to that for you guys. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. And so before we go, what would you say are some of the best ways that your fans could support you guys at this time?
To admit, there are many ways, like like following our Instagram page HKSPK. We have um, we recently got our first own homepage, hkspk.de, and Our merchandise is available on Bandcamp. So
Oh
if you
yeah,
just want to drop by and get a T-shirt or a patch or our CDs, just check out our Bandcamp.
absolutely. I know I'm definitely going to do that for sure. But
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for joining me today and answering all our questions. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for this interview.